Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am building this Dutch inspired house, which is in the aesthetic of like an old couple that lived there basically their entire life, and they haven't really updated the house, so it's all quite old fashioned and a little bit outdated. I saw a house on holiday in the Friesland area of the Netherlands, so like the north of the Netherlands, and I was like, well, that's really fun to see if I can use that a little bit for the inspiration of a Sims build. And the outside is very colorful with like the Dutch roof tiles, but also the green gables. And I really liked playing around with that because usually the outside of my houses are not that colorful. So I really tried to do that. I also struggling a little bit with the color of this fence because the real picture the fences were white, but it also had like a roof, like the red roof tiles were like extended over to the balcony, but I didn't know how to do that in Sims, so I just changed it to green to like match the gables, and I just left the roof thingy away. I thought it looked nice like this in the Sims. So now I'm just trying to find the right stone, because usually Dutch houses like their own brick on the outside, but I don't really like any of the bricks in the Sims, like a couple of them, but I was really trying to find one that like matched the picture. But the downstairs of the house was like a red brownish brick, but then the upstairs was like the same red brownish brick but also like a white mortar, and I couldn't for the life of me find it in Sims that would look nice. So in the end I settled on all the same, but here, like, this is kind of what the upstairs looked like, but I couldn't find any that matched the bricks that I had on the downstairs level, which is a frustration I have with everything in The Sims, where nothing, like, things don't match. But I know they're trying. I think they've added a lot of color combinations, and they're trying to make it more matching in all the new packs, which is nice. But for this one, I couldn't find it. So in the end, I just did the whole house in full brick instead of having the two, the split colored brick mortar stuff. I also tried with those wood mortar split thingies from Get Together from the top of my head, but I also didn't like how that looked, so I just went with this and it was fine. So the house has like a really nice window in the front, and for some reason my game had turned off BB move objects. I don't know why. I think it might be because I taken my mods out, so I don't have any build CC in there. And I think usually I have like MCC command center with BB mods on all the time, so I couldn't place windows here for such a long time until I figured out it's because BB, like, the move objects one wasn't on. But I figured it out, and I found these windows which I think match perfectly with the fences from the balcony, and then I decorated it with the flower pots as well. So the house that I found, like the inspiration I found, was actually a lot of water in the Netherlands. You might know that if you've been here before, like half the country is below sea level. So this house had like a tiny, it's not a river, but a tiny water thing in front of the house, and they actually have like a bridge over it. But I was like, I'm not going to do that. It's going to look weird because the water is going to come from nowhere. So I did a path. But I think that's very cute, the houses up there. Like, everything is like all watery, and there's bridges. It's not in Giethoorn. That's probably the one thing most people think of when thinking of water in the Netherlands. but there's water everywhere basically when you go up to like those the places in the Netherlands that's like touristy. Now I'm just doing the garden because the house had like a whole big surrounded haag. I have no clue what that's in English. I'm sorry, like the green bushes that are creating the border. And I thought that was very cute, but the flower one, I was like, those flowers are too symmetrical, so I took it away. I didn't like how that looked. And now I'm just trying to find something to decorate the roof, because they had a lot of like old-fashioned decorations on the roof, but I couldn't find anything that I really liked. So in the end, I don't think I put anything on the roof, although I do end up adding a chimney pipe, and I really liked how that ended up looking. I think that made the roof a little bit more interesting to look at. Now I'm trying to determine how to do the inside of this house, because I don't know what the inside looks like, just based on the outside. And Dutch hallways are usually really tight. Also Dutch staircases, really slim. And it never really works in The Sims if I'm trying to recreate new houses with like proportions. So this staircase is probably not at all where it was in the real house. Because I don't like how the staircase like kind of extends into the living room now. But I think I made it up working, because there was no other way to do it otherwise to get the staircase, I think. So I was fine with it in the end when I was decorating. But it took a little while to figure that out, how to place it. And then also Dutch houses are usually very slim and small, like the old Dutch houses, not like modern new ones, but like the old-timey ones, like the floor plans don't make any sense. And I was trying to like make a weird floor plan in the first place, like with lots of like slanted walls. But in the end, I was like, this is getting to be too complicated, so I made it all squares. But the rooms are usually quite tiny and cramped, so I think that this house encapsulates that really nicely. There's still enough space for everyone, but it just it's not like big rooms, you know. Certainly not everyone has an own separate bathroom. That's not a thing in the Netherlands. So now I'm just decorating the inside of the house, and I'm really trying to go for like those old-timey wallpapers and old-timey stuff that you would expect in a house that's not been renovated or updated for 50 years, 60 years. I did have a problem here. For some reason, it wouldn't let me place any wallpaper anywhere, and I still don't know why that happened, but in the end, I replaced the staircase, and then I was able to, and I don't know why. So that's why that took a little bit. But I went with these like wooden lambrisering, it's called in Dutch. I don't really remember the English term, but I thought it looked really good, and you would find it in like a house from your grandma. That's like if there's like one thing that's in every grandparent's house, that's what I put in this build basically. But then Dutch vibes. And I've just started. I always start with like the flooring and the wallpaper and figuring that out per room, and then after I've done that, going to do the rest of the decoration and the furniture. So also again for the bathroom, I looked at like the ugliest tiles, the tiles that you would find in one of those old builds. So now I'm adding that chimney thing that I mentioned, and I really like how that turned out. I think the roof looks way better with that sticking out. It looks a bit more realistic. And then I used the half walls to like finish the pipe basically. And later on in the video, I'm still adding like a little bit of decoration that actually looks like a real chimney pipe. I really wanted to add the pretty door in there. It's not a door, but you get what I mean, but it didn't fit. It was too small, so I ended up sticking with the regular door entrance thing. I'm really struggling sometimes with the English to Dutch translations, but I hope you'll be fine with that. So for the kitchen and the living room, I didn't really know what wallpapers to do. Like usually there's tiles, like one of those old fashioned tiles in Dutch kitchens with Delft's blauw decorations on it, like the Dutch blue decoration stuff. But I really wanted to use this wallpaper, but I'm like, this wallpaper would not be in someone's kitchen. So I ended up like doing the front room with the wallpaper and then adding these columns. And I really wanted prettier columns in the same wood of that door thing, but I couldn't really find one that I really liked in that same color, so I ended up with like boring straight columns, but it worked for what I had in mind, so I ended up sticking with that. And then I added like a wooden column at the top, because I think lots of old Dutch houses have those beams up there, and I thought it looked nice. So I didn't get them on the picture, like they disappear when I was taking pictures, which was really annoying because it looks weird without the column in the picture. But I do like how that turned out. My family-in-law has one of those beams in the house as well. Their house is also quite old, so I thought it made sense. Upstairs I'm just using all the same boring doors, and I was looking for a carpet. Like loads of old Dutch houses have like dodgy carpet upstairs. So I was looking at like something that looked a bit old. So I settled with this carpet and used that for the hallway and the bedroom of like the elderly couple or the single grandma, whatever. And then this room, I was like, this was the kids' room back in the day. But now they kind of use it for like their grandkids sleeping over. So I like updated the carpet and gave it a like more modern color. Like maybe they updated that for when the grandkids came to sleep over, you know. So once I've done that, I didn't really know how to continue inside. So I continued outside, and I was looking for these like tiles that you would find in the Netherlands a lot, and I think these are quite similar. And I didn't want, like, a lot of Dutch gardens have been really like they've taken all the green out. It's only tile, and I hate that. So I tried to do a little bit minimal tile, and the rest was like all green, and I wanted a lot of greenery and trees in the garden as well. But Dutch people do tend to keep it all in the borders. So, I mean, those are all very generalizations, but that's what I see when walking around. So I really tried to do that as well, but still keep it like quite cute and something nice to sit in when you're in your own garden. And one thing that Dutch people have is a shed to put their bikes in. So I just added that quickly in the back, and it's very tiny, but I was like, I'm just gonna like add in a couple of bikes and that's it. So I was like, tiny is fine. That's all you need. I did not like the green colored roof at all, so I think I changed it to red. Yeah. Oh yeah, this color, that was better. Because I didn't like how the green looked. There's too much green at one point. So now I'm just trying to do the trees, and I like how it turned out, but I never really know where to start. Because it's not like I really know which of these trees actually are supposed to exist in the Netherlands, so I just move them around and like see what looks nice. And I made them smaller because they're way too big. And to be fair though, I don't think these trees really all fit, but I thought it looked nice, so I just added them in. The real house that I found was a very empty garden. So this is all just me trying to make it prettier. And I always add these like details when I place the trees, like make sure that they're in sand. I think that's more realistic and makes it look more fun. And I just went completely crazy at one point with how much stuff I was adding, and I think it looks nice. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I think it's cute. One thing that's very like Dutch are these plants. They are everywhere in the Netherlands. Hortensias. I don't know the English word, but I'm making a lot of generalizations at the moment, but almost every Dutch garden has a hortensia in it somewhere. So, and then I added containers because we separate everything. I really would like some more distinguished colors because we have green for like food trash, then we have the black for everything that's left over, and then we have the blue for paper, and plastic goes in bags. So I added the free containers because we have free containers. It's a bit ridiculous how many containers we have, but I mean, it's probably for a good cause. I just wish the Sims had more colors instead of... These are basically all the same. Like, how is anyone supposed to know the difference? What goes in which container? I know they don't use it in Sims, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Here I'm just adding like a little bit more details and flowers, and I love some flowers, so I'm just sticking them everywhere. It's probably hence the name. I really want to grow sunflowers again this year. I did it 2 summers ago, and it was very tall. It was almost 2 meters. So I add those in my sim builds a lot, but then make them bigger because they're too tiny. Sunflowers get huge. So I think it's more realistic when we scale them up. And here I'm just filling in the border with all the plants and just making it look fun. That it's not that empty. Like I kind of imagine the man that lives here, the granddad, is like really into gardening, and then the lady is like just chill in the garden, wait for knitting and whatever, and just they chill together while he gardens and she knits or reads or whatever. So yeah, I also add in the bouquet making table, and I think that's then for her, but he might also use it. So I do really like how this garden turned out. And then I'm just adding lights because I think that looks pretty in the evening in Sims. And also I can't stand it when I'm outside and there's no light anywhere, so I'm not doing that to my Sims. Here I'm just doing the outside area, a barbecue. Again, almost everyone probably in the world has a barbecue, but Dutch people also like the barbecue, so it needs to be in the garden with a nice table, which, to be fair, when are Dutch people be like really able to eat outside? But I put it there. It rains all the time is what I'm trying to say, but you probably got that. I don't think I did a whole lot more outside here because I didn't really know what to do. I was trying to find like some more stuff to put in and like some decorations. I put in the gnome and the birdhouse and like some other stuff. And I did find this, which I thought made sense because I'm also going to add the chimney thing, the fireplace. And then I did remember there's like these outside seating things in The Sims that are very common in the Netherlands as well. Like literally every person has that in their garden. And I think I'm about to add them. These ones. Yeah. Very popular. I just moved the birdhouse a little bit out of the way because I thought it was weird to have that behind those chairs. And then I'm doing the bike shed. I really didn't exactly know what I wanted to do inside this bike shed. So I just honestly just threw in a bunch of bikes. I'm very happy with the bikes in The Sims. Like, I like that they've been added in, but they're not like Dutch bikes at all. I don't like how they look. Like, I want more options. I want like an Oma fiets. I don't know. It's like one of those old-fashioned bikes that they have in the Netherlands, where the steering wheel is like bent. I cannot bike on those, but they do look very pretty, and they're typically Dutch. So I would like to have them in The Sims. And also the normal Dutch bikes don't look like this at all. Like, we have a bagagedrager, like something at the back of the behind wheel, so you can put bags on it and stuff. Like, why is there an exposed wheel and you can't put anything on the back of your bike? Like, what's the point? So I don't like the bikes in The Sims, basically, is what I was trying to say. Sorry about that. Now I'm just making the old-fashioned bathroom. So I'm using the old toilet in The Sims with like the wooden style toilet seat. I thought that looks really nice, and this just reminds me of my grandma's bathroom, so I think that's on point. And the one thing I added in was this calendar. I really hoped there was another calendar but if I looked on calendar, I could only find this one. But basically every Dutch family also has a birthday calendar in their bathroom, which is just always there because birthday calendars never change. Dutch people will know what I'm talking about. So it had to be in the build. If I'm saying this is a Dutch house, I just don't like that the Sims calendar is not a birthday calendar, but I thought it was like a dude in costumes calendar. But anyway, it's there. So I ended up doing some decoration in the hallway, discovered that the plants were inside, which I do all the time. So I had to move those a little bit. And I was just trying to find some stuff that you would think your grandma has, but honestly I was having a little bit of a difficult time. But in the end, I think the hallway turned out really nice, and I do like that they have more of these like collages in The Sims. I think they're really pretty. Like, it's you could I guess make it yourself with all the different art, but I thought this is easier because they're so close together and they all match. And now I was just trying to find something to fill up that empty space, and I think I found like a certificate, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Maybe like the grandma or one of the kids of the couple has like graduated and they keep the certificate in the hallway. So I put that up, and then I just added in some random bits and bobs so that it looks like this place is actually being lived in. I need to go back and reshuffle it a bit because I somehow didn't realize I could have just done that by taking away the table and then pressing Alt. For some reason, I was like, oh, I need that OSMP or OMSP mod for it. But it was okay. In the end, I figured it out later. So I'm going back to make it a little bit more cluttery. So now I was doing the kitchen, and I really was doubting about the cabinets, but I ended up settling for this one. I really just wanted a more like less detailed, but not as less detailed as some of the other options in from the other cabinets were. So this one was the best option in the end. I was doubting about putting in cabinets, but really every old Dutch kitchen has upper cabinets, so I put them in anyway. Although I was like, I don't like that it ends like at the window. I think that's really random. But old houses are random anyway, so then I put the sink at the window because I really like the idea of having the sink at the window that you can watch outside while you're doing dishes. So in almost every Sims build that I do, there's a a window near my sink. Then I added the umbrella basket because I finally found it. Sometimes I'm looking for stuff in The Sims and I'm like, where is it? Like, why can I not find it? And then I stop looking for it and then I find it all of a sudden. And I'm like, oh, there you are. But yeah. So I put that in, and then I found some other random stuff that I was like, oh, this is nice in the kitchen. And now I'm trying to determine which fireplace to use. I really like this one, but it was like I kind of wanted the brick to match the outside. So then I was like, maybe I should put this one in, but I really didn't like how, like, I thought it looked a bit too modern. I don't know. So then I settled for this one again with the white shelves instead of brown shelves, and then it is at least red brick. And now I'm trying to find a table that I was like, this screams my grandma's house. The same for the chairs. I do think it really looks like an old people's home, so I thought that was really cute. Because in the beginning I was like, I don't know if I can really decorate this nicely, but in the end I think it turned out quite well. I really wanted this hanging plant in the house somewhere, but I couldn't figure out a place for it for so long. But in the end I put it next to the television later on in the corner. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So here I'm trying to find stuff that can go into the lower shelf of the fireplace, and this is where I would have needed the OMSP mold thingy CC stuff. But everything snapped to the top, and I was like, there's a ceiling. Sims, this doesn't make any sense. And then I moved the table to be like more in the middle because I was annoyed that it was off center. So now I'm doing the front room, and again, plants inside the house all the time. So I put in this television first, but then I was like, oh, I think the couch will really neatly fit into the window, which it did. And honestly, I don't think anyone can really nicely watch TV from here, but I was like, I'm not gonna not use this couch now. And then it made me think of my neighbors who have their television in a really weird place and then like have it diagonally like this so they can still watch it. And I'm like, I'm just gonna do that. Their Dutch houses sometimes have such a weird layout that you have to put your furniture in weird ways. So it's like, probably they're not using the television that much anyway. They only have it for when the grandkids come over. I don't know. Something like that. So I added those chairs that I really like. I think they also, I mean, maybe they look a little bit ridiculous to some people also with the wallpaper, but I think this looks adorable. And then I added in that cell phone that you got with the most recent Sims event. I mean, it's not a cell phone, it's like an old-fashioned telephone, but you get what I mean. I thought that was like so cute that you can add that in now. And then I put in a music player, like an old-fashioned one, and I wanted a desk in there as well. And again, here I wanted to have the notebook, like the open notebook on the desk, like that, the lady that lives here writes or has a diary, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I think I took like a full 3 minutes trying to find this book, and then I gave up. But later on I found it again and I put it on the table, and I was like, this is what I meant. Because I really thought it was the book got unlocked by playing one of the aspirations or something, so I filtered it on unlocked articles, but it wasn't in there. Then I was like, well, maybe I have that all wrong. But yeah, I looked for it for a long time, couldn't find it, moved on, found it later. But I have that all the time. I'm like, I know this exists. And also I looked in the search bar on book and it didn't come up, because apparently it's called a notebook, and yeah, the search bar is not the easiest in The Sims. I still love The Sims, by the way. I'm just critical. And I really wanted to add in one of those chairs because I think that's cute. And then I added also a children's toy box because I figured if they have grandkids, they will have toys. So I added that downstairs as well, so when they come over, they can just play with that. And then I struggled a bit with this room because a bed doesn't really fit anywhere in here without plugging the door or being next to a wall. And then I replaced the door to be a smaller door, thinking like maybe this fits now. I didn't. And then I decided to put the bed next to the entrance of the room. And I was like, well, now the door might as well just be big again. So I just like backspaced everything, Control Z everything, how do I say that? Undid everything and kept the big door and put the bed there. And they will just have to scoot over. That doesn't always work in The Sims, but it's fine. I really wanted like an old big wardrobe like this one, but actually I would like it even bigger. But I really like this wardrobe in The Sims. I think it's very cute. I must say that I feel like I didn't really decorate the upstairs as much as the downstairs. I do still like it, but I think I could have added in more clutter. But here I found like one of those big standing clocks, and I was like, my grandma has this. It needs to be in the build. So I put it downstairs. Like every time I'm at my grandma's, I get distracted by the ticking of the clock. I couldn't have that in my own house. I would go insane. But old people homes have those clocks, so I added it in. And then I put in a little jewelry box, and I really like that those exist now in The Sims. I think they're super adorable to put in everyone's room. And now I'm doing the bathroom again with the old-fashioned toilet. Just like a bath-shower combination that looks a little bit old-fashioned. And well, this was honestly not that special. I used the same wallpaper as well because I thought that would make sense. And then I put bathrobes on the door because I think that's cute and a little bit realistic. And then this room, I basically was like, they still have like the beds from their kids, like a bunk bed from when the kids were little. But then sometimes grandkids stay over, so they have like one of those travel cots just permanently there, and all the kids' toys are in it, and it's not really decorated that much because the kids also moved out and took a lot of stuff with them, so it's just like a little bit of a spare room. But I did end up putting a little bit more modern light fixture because I figured one of the kids, like when they were still living here as a teenager, they probably would have replaced it. And then I just put a whole crap ton of toys everywhere. Honestly, it's not that much, but more than in my usual builds. Usually I just have like the toys that you need for child development. I'm like, okay, that's it. That's all I need for gameplay. And I figured they probably left some post-it up before they left. Like they never really took those down. And I was trying to find like maybe they have like just boxes of other stuff in here. Like they kind of use it as an attic, but I was like, yeah, it's too much. And maybe if little kids are playing here, you also wouldn't want that much stuff in it. So I just left it at that. And then here I was trying to add a little bit more details to the chimney, which I thought looked really nice. And now I'm just going back in and redoing the cluttering. And again, I didn't need this shelf for what I'm trying to do now, but I didn't realize that until halfway through. But that's okay. And I figured I could put some more stuff on here. So I was trying to find some other things. I think I end up adding in like another flower, which I thought looks really cute. And then I put the table back, and then I just go around the house. Like I think I redo the kitchen, make it a little bit more sense. Again, wouldn't have need the shelf for it, but and I could have used the shelf to put on stuff on the chimney, but didn't end up doing that. Don't know what I was really thinking when I was doing this, but it looks cute in the end. And I was thinking of adding in the tea stuff, but honestly, I'm not a big tea drinker. I don't really know any Dutch people that are big tea drinkers. A lot of us just drink more coffee, so it's like, I'm not gonna put in the tea. Well, we don't have it, but if I'm gonna only do typical Dutch stuff, you know. So I did put in this paper roll towel because I think that is realistic. Yeah, also we did this table, and this is where I figure out that I don't really need the shelf. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, oh yeah, and I was really debating on getting rid of this stack of magazines, but in the end I was like, okay, no, I'm just gonna leave it. Honestly, people that still read magazines are basically all elderly, because I don't know anyone who still does that. I hope I'm not offending anyone right now, but I mean, everything I read is or books or is on the internet. Anyway, I put this little dog on top of the puzzle boxes because I thought that was cute, and that's actually what I could have used this shelf actually for, so that's the end. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And like the house. I hope I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.